foremost, I'm going to start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, or Chakodash, Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai, is the only begotten Son, who the world calls him Jesus Christ, had ignorance and lack of knowledge. All right, Yahweh meaning He exists, Yahweh Shai meaning Yahweh is salvation. All right, He's deliverer. All right. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who told me to understand truth to the Lord's name, peace and safety to the brothers out there pushing His truth onto the four corners. All right. So we're gonna get right into it. Lord willing, just straight to the point, edifying. I just clicked the button. I'm outside right now, about to go in. But the Spirit jumped on me. I've been getting into looking into the technology nowadays. So America does have facial recognition right now. They had it for a while. All right, but I'm just getting up on it because I'm getting hip to the chip, so that's important. The Lord put on my spirit to make more videos about the mark of the beast. All right, but this is just the infrastructure of the mark. In order to have the mark, the system to set up and flow, you have to have the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is facial recognition. All right, so I'm gonna let you listen to this video. So, brother, the channel was A Man, Poor, and Company. All right, it's the first video I've seen out of them. It talks about the facial recognition. We're gonna listen in and filter through the scriptures.
You've learned that ICE is using it to find locations where lots of people
It's talking about the facial recognition. Remember,
detain could be based. How does this work? So it is a map interface, and an ICE official will simply draw a circle or a square onto that map, and all of these small pins will appear. They'll then click onto one of those pins, and that will be a specific person, or in ICE's sort of vernacular, a target. That'll be their name, date of birth, a photo if they have it, and as you said, the address and the address confidence score. Elsewhere in the user guide I obtained explaining how this tool works, it says these addresses can come from the Department of Health and Human.
So they're going around. ICE is using this tool, facial recognition, to find immigrants and illegal immigrants and things of that nature. And they're tracking them down where they live and their locations.
Services, USCIS, which is part of DHS, and various other sources as well. It seems to be a tool that brings together data from all of these usually separate places and sources and brings it into a sort of all-in-one single tool that ICE can use to find neighborhoods to raid, maybe write up target lists, and eventually supervisors to approve those lists.
Find neighborhoods to raid. Yeah, they're gonna raid, Jake's neighborhood, man. They're gonna raid you Israelite neighborhoods, man. They're gonna raid our neighborhood. Alright. Write up targets. The targets are gonna be those that don't take the mark, alright, the elect. If you don't take this mark, guess what? You become a target. And how can they track you? Through facial recognition. To know where you live, know where you go. You can't beat the cameras. They're gonna find you. Alright, they're using this facial recognition. Alright.
And send people out into the field. One single tool that ICE can use to find neighborhoods to raid, maybe write up target lists, and eventually supervisors to approve those lists and send people out into the field.
Right. So if ICE has this, the federal agent's gonna have this. Military has it. Because ICE is at the lower level. So if they're using this technology, then the more sophisticated military operations use this technology as well. All right.
So how did you confirm the connection between ICE and the company Palantir? So ELITE is an acronym, and then in the user guide, the full text of that was spelled out. I then, as I usually do when I get leaked documents, I started Googling around. The only mention of that spelled out acronym on the entire web was included in a Palantir contract for 29.9 million. To me, that made a very solid link between this particular tool and Palantir. And of course, last year, we already reported that Palantir was working on immigration enforcement for the second Trump administration. They were doing various data analytics services and products and that sort of thing. But this was really the first link that we got between, they're making this specific tool and ICE is using it. It was finally bridging that divide between Palantir doing. You've also reported about facial recognition technology, and so many people have seen these viral videos where the ICE agent really just sticks his or her phone up directly to the person and kind of takes a snapshot, and that phone that they have in their hand is comparing the image to some much, much larger database.
Yeah, because everything you can remember is what the scriptures say about Revelation 13:16. You know, he calls it all both small and great. That's good shit. Revelation 13. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. It says, he calls all, that's Esau, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? This facial recognition, those that have it in their forehead, you're going to be able to see this with this facial recognition, all right? And you're not going to be able to escape these surveillance cameras that they have, right? So they could track you where you go, and they could track you if you go get the mark, right? So because when you receive the mark, those that receive the mark is going to be marked, so you're going to be in their system. So this system, this facial recognition system now is going to be able to tap into whether a person has the mark or not. So when they scan you or scan your face, just to scan your face on the facial recognition, now it can see the database of whether your documents, where you live, every single thing, whether you got the mark or not. Because the mark is going to be the number one thing that people, that the government is going to look for, whether this person has or not. Just like they wanted to know if you got vaccinated or not. How do you know that? Through the card. But it's on paper, it's in the hospital system that you received it, because when you went there to the tent, they made you sign up a form and such an agent to mark you in their system. All right, this thing is deep, man. Let's go. Keep going. Let's keep going to the video.
Large database. Is that a fact? Where did all those pictures come from? So we first revealed the existence of this app called Mobile Fortified. In another story, you reported through documents that you obtained through a lawsuit of Freedom of Information request, you found that there was a data sharing agreement between the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and the Department of Homeland Security. In that agreement, that ICE was given the personal data of nearly 80 million Medicaid patients. What did you discover in the full text of this? Yeah, so that agreement really showed the breadth and the depth of the data on Medicaid patients that was being shared with ICE. Name, address, other sensitive personal information. And I think it just goes to show that ICE, as an agency, is turning to very novel ways to get information that it believes is useful to its mission. So as well as that Medicaid data, there is, of course, the data sharing between the IRS and ICE now, which was unprecedented. Of course, the idea being that IRS won't share data with ICE, so undocumented people will be encouraged to still pay their taxes. That is now out of the window.
Man, we told you that it's going to be, this white man's going to come down, all right? Man, this technology nowadays. What's that? Wisdom searches up, finds about the invention. Wisdom. Proverbs 8:12. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence. All right. Prudence is the ability to govern and discipline oneself by using reason and find out knowledge of witty invention. This is wisdom. All right. Wisdom finds out about knowledge of witty inventions. This is what we need to be getting hip on. These witty inventions that Esau thinks he could just um, witty himself into to for us to take the mark. All right. It says the word witty describes someone or something that is funny in a clever, smart, or quick way. All right. So this is what Esau wants. He's clever. He's very cunning. The devil is very cunning and smart and clever. He's trying to have you take the mark. All right, through this facial recognition. All right, they have the palm scans at Amazon. Some grocery stores have the palm scans. They're using our phones for facial recognition when we sign into our banking app or trying to offer you for the iPhones. All right, most people have an iPhone, so this thing is gonna just be easy. Infrastructure is there. It's gonna be easy when it fully gets pushed. This MOTB, this mark of the beast, all right? So because the infrastructure is already there. When you go to the subway now, you can tap your phone and literally go through the subway. It's no more cards no more. It's like you don't have to swipe a card. Everything is tapped. So the infrastructure is getting there, right? But he's not. He thinks he's clever, all right? But wisdom dwells with prudence, all right? And it finds out about witty inventions, right? So this devil, he thinks he's clever, all right? Having everybody get the new iPhone and let's do facial recognition.
Larger database. Is that effective? Where did all those pictures come from? So Representative Benny Thompson, who authored this legislation, he's the Homeland Security ranking member. He said ICE's use of mobile fortify to determine a person's legal status is an outrageous offense.
That's enough. All right, so this devil is gonna have you setting up his infrastructure for the MOTB, and he could tap into your data records, your medical records, everything, passport, everything, whether you took the mark or not. If he could tap into medical records, he know when you went to the hospital to receive that mark or wherever they're giving it out at. Your job, it doesn't matter. He could tap in everywhere. So, now is the time to repent and seek the Lord, all right, before the hour of temptation cometh upon the world, all right? Repent, all right? So, yeah, I don't want to make this video long. But yeah, it's a time now. We entering that time. So I'll read this again. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand, in the right hand or in their foreheads. Now you see they have the palm reading for the right hand. You have the palm scanning to pay for your groceries, and you have the forehead, meaning like you can there's a when you sign out or when you have that barcode, that bar scanner, you can scan your head, all right? Or you could just look into they have cameras now, and when you do self checkout, you can look into the camera and can read for that payment, all right? This stuff, the technology is already here, all right? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell. So he's trying to have everyone chipped, so to have total control. All right, when someone says you can't buy groceries or you can't sell a product, that means without taking this mark, that means it's total control. It's it's a tyrant. It's a dictatorship, right? Control. All right, that no man might buy or sell, because America is nothing but a big business. All right. It says, say he that had the mark, save he that had the mark. So the Esau is gonna make it believe like the only person that's gonna be saved is those that have the mark. This mark is gonna save you because you won't be able to eat. So it's gonna save you from dying of hunger. He's gonna have you think carnal. All right, but you need to be thinking eternal. If I take this, then I separate myself from the Most High and His Son. All right. It says, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's the mark of the beast. All right, and you see those on the barcode, one in the left, one in the middle, one on the right. So repent and turn for your ways. All right. So with that being said, I want to say shalom. Catch you in the next video.